guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new ANASTASIA Beverly Hills foundation. This is their Luminous foundation, and can we just look at this packaging for a second? Like, packaging is everything. I love, love, love this. It reminds me a lot of the NARS foundation, and then I never closed it. I'm also going to be trying the ANASTASIA. This is their banana powder that they just came out with, and I must say this is absolutely massive. I love like how big it is, and I love that we finally have a setting powder with a lid big enough that you can actually go in with your sponge, your brush, whatever, and like you don't have any issues. So in today's video, I'm going to be using these two guys. I haven't used these before, but I did use it with what I use in my normal routine that I would do with any other foundation, and I must say this right here is my new favorite. In today's video, that's what I'm going to be doing and using, and this is what I used to get my makeup today. So if you want to see how I got today's look, then just keep on watching. Thank you. I would put this on all day. Most of
Except I knew it was crazy when I started ripping people off and still popping.
Wait, what? Ripping them off?
Yeah, just ripping. That's what I do sometimes. And they're like really small.
What, yo? Starting off today's video, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and then I'm going to also use the Benefit Professional Pearl Primer. This is more or less for my pores, and then this I'm just going to be using as a solid base for the foundation. And for the Milk one, it's like pretty much like a tacky texture, so it's really good for longevity and really getting your makeup to last during the day, especially if you're like me and you tend to touch your face a lot. So this one's better for you to just like target it exactly where you need it. So I'm just gonna keep that right in this area. Normally after primer, I would go in and fill in my eyebrows, but I actually did those off camera today. So this just launched, I think, like 2 days ago. I honestly think this launched. So I swatched myself in the store, and it was a pretty good match. So I'm hoping that it looks the same now that I have like primer and all that jazz on. So I'm gonna shake it. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blending sponge today, which this is honestly my favorite sponge ever. I like this one better than Beauty Blender, better than Real Techniques, better than all of them. And pretty much because not only does it blend my makeup out really well, it's so easy to actually keep clean. Like you don't have to worry about, sometimes when you use foundation, the sponge just doesn't, all the foundation never comes out. And with this one, it definitely does. I'm excited for this foundation because I feel like the stick foundation that they came out with, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was not a fan. And I don't even think I liked the contour or anything. I was just like, no, I don't like this. So I probably could have gone a shade or two lighter, but this foundation is the weirdest thing to match ever. Like the numbers are just really, really weird. I matched myself to the 355N. And I normally go for like warm colors. Like I feel like this is really warm for it to be N, like neutral. So, I don't know. That's the only downfall, I feel like, of this foundation. It's just hard to color match yourself. Even with the display, like how it's displayed, it's just displayed so odd. This foundation does claim to be a medium coverage, so I definitely think it's medium coverage. To me, realistically, maybe it's just because I put more, because I always typically go for like a fuller coverage. I feel like this is full, especially for the fact that I use a sponge, and normally sponges tend to like shear out your foundation a little bit. I definitely like it, and it does have the luminous claims like it claims to, and I don't know, it just looks good on my skin. So as far as initial application, I really do like how the foundation applied, and I think it looks really, really good. I think I can go one shade down, but I'm just gonna do the rest of my makeup and see how I like it, how it blends with everything, and we're just gonna keep on moving right along. So next I'm going to actually use the Maybelline Super Stay. This is a foundation stick, but I'm using it in the shade Mocha because I'm gonna use this for my contour today. And now I have really been liking this to do cream contour because I'm not a cream contour girl actually don't like to cream contour, but ever since I started using this and this particular technique, I feel like my cream contour has come a long way. If you notice, I am putting the cream contour, normally people always say to start at the top of your ear and then to come down a little bit, basically come like this way. And I have just been going straight out because I feel like once I blend everything out, I start to drop down with the cream contour anyways, and you don't want it to start looking muddy or anything like that. So I've been keeping it pretty high up, and then I will also go ahead and cream contour my forehead, but I like to blend everything out first. To blend this out, I'm gonna be using this Morphe M536 brush, and I'm just going to basically tap it out to blend it, and then I'm going to go back in with that same sponge that I used to apply the foundation, and I'm going to blend it out with that as well. The brush I just pretty much use as the initial blend, and as you can see, any excess I just take it up right where I normally would. I'm doing the same thing for this side. Honestly, this is probably why I don't like to cream contour, because one side always comes out super good and the other side, nice hot ass mess. I feel like literally one side always looks so nice, and then the other side I'm like, sis, get your life. This side, I mean, I don't really know what I would call this side. This side, we have a nice contour going on. This side, I don't really know what happened. But when that happens, the whole reason why I've been cream contouring this way is, for me, it's way easier for me to cream contour first and then go back and conceal anywhere that I might have messed up, or it just, you'll see. It just looks so much better when I do it this way. So for anyone who has issues cream contouring or is scared of cream contour like I am for the most part, if you do it this way, you shouldn't have as much issues. Bronze the rest of my forehead, and I just take it like right here, because I feel like if I start to get it up here, I bring it down too low, and then that just looks muddy and it does not, it does not look cute. So I'm gonna take the opposite end of that sponge, and for my forehead, I do like to use a sponge better because I feel like the brush just leaves too much. And this sponge, like I said, it's been my absolute fave. It just blends everything out really, really nice. I'm just gonna take the sponge and we're just gonna blend out that whole cream contour. If it left any lines or anything, we are just going to eliminate the lines, and that looks good. So next I'm going to jump in and use this CoverGirl concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and I've really been loving this concealer. I'm in the shade Golden Natural, and this is M100. And then with this concealer, I'm going to just go right under my eyes. This concealer reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, but better. And I'm gonna use the opposite side of what I used for, okay, now. Okay, so one problem here. So I am applying the concealer, and I don't know if you can see, but maybe it's the way I applied it. It picked up foundation. The foundation is no longer there. So let me go under my eye and see if the same thing sort of happens under here. This concealer is super full coverage, so you definitely do not need a lot at all. Okay, so actually, I'm not really sure why this foundation is doing, or actually why the concealer is not meshing really well with this foundation. So I feel like it's picking up product. I'm going back in on the sponge with the side that's actually the side I use for the foundation, and I'm just gonna blend out the contour and the foundation and the concealer. There we go, using the side that I used for foundation to begin with. And then the same thing here, blend out the rest of the concealer, contour, and foundation all evenly. Okay, so I feel pretty good about how the foundation applied and how it blended with the concealer and the contour. However, on my chin area, it did pick up when I applied concealer. It didn't do it. I have a hair. It did not do it anywhere else, so I'm glad that it didn't do it anywhere else, but I'm just gonna go back in with a little bit more concealer in my chin area and get my coverage back, because I probably am not gonna put any more concealer right there, but I do want to clean up my contour a little bit. So with using the excess foundation, I'm just gonna clean it up. But otherwise, this foundation, the one. So far, so good. Along with the foundation, Anastasia also released a loose setting powder, and I ended up getting the banana shade. I felt like the vanilla was gonna be too light for me, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing the translucent one either. So why did I just do that? I just wiped my whole face. So before I go in and put the setting powder, I do want to put a little tiny bit more concealer, but this time I'm just going to basically keep it directly where I put it, because I want to still have like a bright. So I am applying a little tiny bit more concealer, just because sometimes you can lose that little bit of highlight underneath your eye after you blend everything and blend the cream contour and all that jazz. So I'm just brightening it up a little bit right under the eye. And so now I'm gonna actually go in with the setting powder. And can we talk about how massive this is? Like, technically in the packaging, it only holds 0.9 ounces. Like, that's on average. I'm pretty sure most powders carry like an ounce to an ounce and a half. Like, realistically, this is massive, but value-wise, I still feel like I like my Makeup Revolution banana powder. This comes with 1.47 ounces, and this comes with 0.9 ounces, though this is $36 and this one's $4.99. So you can be the judge. I will say the colors are definitely different. Like, I feel like the Makeup Revolution one, the color is a little bit more, I guess, like potent. But all in all, I do like the lid in this one because it gives you way more space, number one. The Makeup Revolution one, I feel like it's kind of annoying because like the lid for the Makeup Revolution one, it's not big enough for you to actually put a real brush or like a sponge in it for you to set your under eye with. I don't even have the lid on it right now, but as you can see, the lid is tiny, so that really never even works. So I'm gonna take my same beauty sponge, my e.l.f. sponge, and I'm just gonna dip right into the setting powder, and then I'm gonna go right under my eyes like I normally would. Okay, hold on. This setting powder is really nice. It is so thin. I am gonna set my forehead because that's where I start to get a little tiny bit oily, like right between the brows. And then, like I said, I'm gonna clean up this contour just a little bit with some setting powder. So once you make a mess, like me, dust it off your shirt. And then I'm actually going to leave this sit here for maybe like the next 30 seconds. I'm gonna do quick just bronze. And then I'm gonna wipe this off because I don't necessarily want to like bake. I just want to make sure it's like set really, really well. I'm gonna take this Philosophy brush that I've been using for bronzer, and what bronzer do I wanna use? Should I use Fenty or should I use MAC? Fenty or MAC, what do you think?
Fenty.
You think I should use a Fenty? All right. Sister says use Fenty and it's sister's birthday. So,
Period poo.
we are going to use the Fenty It's So Dirty, which, excuse the dirt. So I'm gonna be using the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer, and this is in the shade Island Ting. I'm just going to literally set the contour, and that is it. I'm not like doing anything extra. I'm pretty much letting the contour be the bronzer. Now remember that this is a luminous foundation, so like if you're looking for that glow, then by all means do not set your face how I just set my face, because I'm not really letting any of the glow peek through because I set pretty well. So if you are someone looking for a little bit more of a luminous glow, you do not need this much powder, and yeah, you do not need to be baking with this because it is a luminous foundation. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of something going on right here, but I can't really tell. I'm gonna take this stippling brush from BH. I feel like I use this in all my videos and I've had it forever. This just does really well with blending everything in, and as well as wiping any excess powder off the face. So once I have my bronzer on, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the foundation again, literally just like a fourth of a pump. It's about this much, and I'm gonna clean up underneath my brows. Normally I would use concealer to do it, but the concealer that I've been using, I don't like the shade for concealing my brows, so we're not gonna use that. So I'm just following my shape. Any excess, you're just gonna pull it down onto your eyelid and blend it out. And then same thing for this other brow. Of course, I'm running out of concealer or foundation. All right, so after I conceal brows, I'm just being real extra, and I'm just pushing in a little bit more bronzer because, you know, I think I'm cute or whatever, and that's what I do. I just put a lot of bronzer on and, you know, do my thing. Right here, I'm so mad about how it looks because it looks a little too like, it doesn't look blended right there, which is kind of annoying me, but maybe, you know, I don't know why it's like weird right there. You guys already know I'm going in with my favorite blush ever. Like, don't try to talk me into another blush because I probably won't use it. It's gonna be MAC Melba blush. It's just like a pretty, oh, I almost dropped that. A pretty pink blush, nice and subtle, and it's matte, so it just looks good with any look. I almost changed my mind, but I am actually going to use my Anastasia and Amrezy highlight. I figured it makes sense to use it. I'm using the foundation, the setting powder, you know, makes sense. And I'm gonna be taking this Real Techniques. This is a setting brush that I don't use as a setting brush, and I'm going to go ahead and pop my highlighter on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, tiny bit on Cupid's bow, like nothing almost. And then what I'm also going to do is, after I do that, I'm dropping everything. I'm gonna take this Benefit Gimme Brow, and I just wanna put this in the front of my brows. I cannot find my Essence Clear Brow Gel, and if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you know I am loyal to my brow gel, and I thought I had it in my purse, but it's not there. So With the Gimme Brow, it does add a little bit of pigment, so I'm very, very light-handed with it because I don't need any more pigment in my brows. I just like to have something there to set them. So after eyebrow gel, I am going to next set my face, and I'm going to be setting today with 2 different setting sprays. I'm going to be using the 3-in-1 coconut primer water from Wet n Wild, and then I'm also going to be using the NYX Bear With Me Prime Set and Refresh 8-hour multitasking spray. I don't know why this has such a long name, but it does. So I'm going to actually spray this one first, and then I'm going to spray this one second. I am not a fan of how this one sprays out, but I really, really love how this one sprays out, and I love how this one smells. But this one, I just feel like it does hold. So if you ask me, I would say this one's probably not a necessity, but this one is. This one reminds me of MAC Fix Plus because of how it sprays and just how it makes your face feel after the fact. So I'm gonna spray this one first. I don't even know if you can tell, but okay, so that was a really good spray, but this one does not spray out that good on my face. Like, I will show you. Like this one, I just feel like you have to spray so much more because it's such a fine spray. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan. I do like the hold. I'm just not a fan of how it sprays out. So this one does what I want it to do. Necessity. I'm gonna take the actual brush itself that has some leftover highlight, and as soon as this dries down just a bit, I'm going to add some extra highlight to my face. So I'm taking that same brush that I applied the highlighter with, and I'm just gonna pop in a tiny bit more. Now that we applied the setting spray, a little bit more will come off of the brush. Cupid's bow. And now I'm going to be doing some eyeliner before I apply my falsies, and I'm going to be using the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. And you guys know I love this liner. It is a holy grail staple. I have never been a person to really use like a felt tip. I really like this NYX eyeliner, and it does not have a felt tip. It is basically like a brush kind of tip. So you just take off whatever you're not going to use. And I'm not going to do a wing today. I'm just going to basically use it for some liner. To give the lashes just a little bit more like oomph behind them. Hopefully I don't get this everywhere. I feel like every time I use this eyeliner, it gets everywhere. But I love it. It's just so black. It's matte. And just keep it as close to your lashes as you can. And just follow the shape of your eye. You guys already know I use the same lashes all the time. I use my Kiss 01 lashes, and I'm actually fresh out, so I need to go buy some new ones. I'm actually stacking these 2 today to give it a little bit more volume. And I have been, normally for these, like I normally don't cut them because they are a little bit longer than my eye, but normally it doesn't bother me with these because they have such a thin band. However, I have been cutting just like the last little piece of hair off of these, like this much hair, like nothing crazy. And I've been liking how they sit a little bit better that way. So I've been taking a little bit off. I'm gonna be using my Kiss Lash Adhesive Glue. This one has aloe, and it doesn't have anything that's going to irritate your eyes. So while the eyelash glue is starting to dry and settle in, I'm going to be taking the NYX, these are the Suede Matte Lip Liners, and this is in the shade London. It's a really nice neutral shade. I haven't tried these particular liners, like I've always used their original ones, but this shade just stuck out so much to me. So I hope it doesn't like make my lips look like mute. I hope it's just like a nice brown. It honestly reminds me of MAC Strip Down, and you guys know I love that eyeliner, or I'm sorry, that lip liner. So I'm hoping this one is somewhat the same. Oh yeah. This one's definitely not as cool toned. This one's a little warmer. I feel like this is a cross between MAC Boldly Bare and MAC Strip Down. I have been slightly overlining my lips, so if that's something that you are into or something that you like to do, I definitely recommend it. I think it just gives your lips a little extra something something. Nothing too crazy that we're not like Kylie Jennering it, no shade. I'm just saying we don't need to be, you know, creating something we don't have. But if you go a little bit over your lips, like it just looks so natural and really, really nice. Yash lipstick, and it is by MAC. I feel like this is definitely gonna be a really pretty nude with a little color, because you guys know I do not do color. So still nude as always, but with a little bit of a pinky undertone. I'm going to use a little bit of NYX Madeline gloss. You guys know I use this all the time. Like I pretty much don't really use anything else. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of this on my bottom lip, and then I'm going to be using this Clinique gloss that I've been loving. This Clinique gloss is Caramel Pop, and it pretty much looks like this. They're pretty little. I think they're super, super cute. And this is like a true nude. Like I think this is gonna bring my nude lip back to where I want it. And this is a true, yep, see? It is a very true nude. I don't know, with lipsticks, I feel like I love them for color, but when it's a creme sheen like that one, I feel like it's just natural to just put a gloss on top anyways. So that is what I'm doing. So we put this gloss on top, and now I'm loving this color so much more. And then my last step is going to be using this Lash Sensational by Maybelline. Just a little mascara for the bottom lashes. Sometimes when I double up on, did I just get it under my eye? As always, OMG. I'm going to be using a tiny, tiny bit just to blend my lashes with the falsies. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me put this together. Definitely go out and try the Anastasia powder and the foundation. This is honestly going to be my new jam. Like I really, really like how this applied. It blended so well with everything that I used in my normal routine. So it's going to be a no-brainer to go ahead and slip these two products right into what I've already been using. And I'm honestly really, really impressed with Anastasia. Like I know they kick their palettes out of the water and everything, and bronzers and highlighters, and so it's really nice to see them come out with a foundation that is really, really good, and I cannot wait for you guys to get your own hands on it. And thank you guys so much for the support lately. I know my last video did over, I think it's almost at like 1,200 views, which is blowing my mind. Like that is honestly insane. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting and coming back to my channel and staying true to it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.